windows. Now to a photograph that'll separate the believers from the non-believers. It was taken by a local couple when they recently visited one of Brisbane's oldest churches. Here's Belinda Burrows with the case of the mysterious face in the window.
Long before the footy faithful gathered at Suncorp Stadium, this is where the people of Brisbane came to worship. The tiny Christ Church, which now stands in the stadium's shadow.
This parish is intimately interwoven in the early history of Brisbane.
The church was built in the 1890s and was surrounded by Brisbane's first cemetery.
We just went out for the day just to have a bit of fun. I'd been reading about this church and I thought it was very nice sort of old colonial sort of architecture.
Okay, Gal.
You got the camera?
History buffs Peter and Jodie Graham don't mind a bit of the spooky stuff and set out a few weeks ago to explore the church. However, it was the next day while downloading the photographs that Jodie felt a shiver go down her spine.
Oh my God, look!
What?
Did you see that? Look!
See what?
Look! As soon as Peter downloaded the photo, it was like, it hit me.
Jodie spotted a face staring back at her in a church window. She's convinced it's the image of a man, possibly even Patrick Main, whose gravestone husband Peter had been photographing moments before taking the pickie of the church windows.
And I had just been going around his grave saying, oh, well, you got what you deserved, you know, and hope, you know, you rot in hell.
Now, Patrick was an alderman, businessman, and a rumour got about that he'd in fact been responsible for an old crime, and on his deathbed that he confessed to it.
Spookbuster Jack Sim runs ghost tours around Brisbane, which takes in the old Christ Church at Milton.
So Jack, what are some of the ghost stories associated with this church?
Oh, one of my favourite ghost stories is a story told by one of the homeless fellas that calls the church home, and he one night, as well as with some other fellas, swore that they saw a door which leads out onto the veranda open, and a blue light came out from the door, and through this blue light emerged this woman.
So a creepy hotspot, but the man who captured the image isn't convinced it's a ghost in the window.
I think if you've got a good imagination, you'll see a face in there. But to me, I think it's either trees or it's the pattern on the glass.
Convinced it's real, Jodie went back to the church, capturing the image again on video camera.
But when I held the video camera and I just raised my eyes above that, couldn't see anything in the window. Absolutely nothing.
But is it really a face or simply a reflection? We hit Brisbane to find out what the public thinks.
The lady's face.
I think it's a reflection.
What about you?
Yeah, off the bush.
Looks like someone looking out of it.
There's a shadow of a woman, maybe, on the left-hand side.
Do you think it is someone?
No, it's reflection. Looks like a tree.
To get an expert opinion, we asked Jack Sim to examine the church window and the photograph.
So Jack, you don't think that's a face in the window?
Look, I think it's pretty creepy, Belinda, but after studying it carefully, I'm convinced that what it is a reflection of some of the beautiful trees coming off the stadium glass.
I think it's a combination of light and shade, doing interesting things.
What we do know is this picture will continue to be debated in the Graham household.
I'm convinced.
I'm not. No way.
I think it did look like my nan in a tree. Now for a quick look at our program tomorrow.